Is your investment. Act fast.
Mike with Mike from Michael Mikes. From the Michael Mikes. Michael Mikes.
My name is Isabella and you're listening to My King Biz. Hubby, that's my scam.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to On the Mic with Mike. It is the premier daily social business enterprise show in the Richmond area, the place where the game changers come to talk. The name of the program is On the Mic with Mike. My grandkids, so they got a problem with Mics and everything under the sun. But we'd like to thank you for tuning in. Like to thank Michael Schwartz of Richmond Biz Sense. Next up, we have Rob Ukrops from the Richmond Kickers. Welcome to the program, sir.
Thanks for having me.
So we get the best and the brightest here, I always say. Let folks know your involvement with, not only with the professional soccer team, but also your involvement with the community, which is sort of how I kind of came to you with looking at the things that you do and how you support the Richmond area.
Yeah, well, soccer is the fastest growing sport, it seems like, for many, many years. And, we see our opportunity in the marketplace just to bring people together. No matter how you feel about life in general, it's just coming out to support a sporting event and just be together and, support your local community team. And, for us, one of the most proud things is just the idea of joyful, authentic, united, and just being a venue to bring people together at City Stadium.
One of the things, so is it true that soccer is getting what people would say the best athletes now because of what's happened with football?
I don't know if you'll see that change for about another 10 years, but certainly there's lots of kids and parents especially that are afraid of their kids, with the concussions issues. But I tell people soccer is just as dangerous. It's a great sport. People run just as fast, but the collisions are without any pads and other than a shin pad. So I think what you're starting to see is just people are starting to respect the game, and there's more generations of adults that have played it and understand what's happening. As a kid, my dad used to take me out to the old Parker Field down on the boulevard, and we watched a baseball game, and my dad could sit there and it'd be a 1-0 game, and he could talk to me about pitches and how to advance the runners and all those the fun things about a 1-0 baseball game. But when it went to soccer for many years, people were like, oh, there's no scoring. But now people are starting to play the game and understand the tactics of it. So I think you're starting to see just a more of an evolution of the soccer fan.
You're here, so on the business side, but the Kickers are totally involved in the community. Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about, it seems to be in your DNA, talk a little bit about what that means to the organization.
Well, the club was started in 1993 by a guy named Bobby Lennon and Cookie Ketchum, and it was a startup, and really we call it Richmond Kickers 4.0 right now with the newest ownership group that I'm part of. But being part of the community and the fabric of it, it's in my DNA from my mom and dad, and just watching my granddad build the Ukrops grocery stores back in the day. But it's important to be involved. People don't want you to come in there and tell you what they want to see you out there and being active. This has been a really stressful and difficult year for us because of the COVID, whereas our guys in a COVID protocol, so we can't activate them in the community as much as we did last year. But guys are making appearances, working with young kids, mentoring, teaching. We have one of our players out with an ACL, two of them, Devontae DeBose and Zeb Taubleeb, who are trying to connect with the Partnership for the Future, where Charlita Richardson is just left, but Tiffany Thomas is running now. So trying to connect with different people in the community so that these kids know that there are opportunities, not just as a soccer player, but just in the soccer community.
Can you talk a little bit about the Ukrops? So I come here in 2014. That's all I hear. Mm-hmm. It's a legacy name. And prior to this, we used to live in York, Pennsylvania, mm-hmm. and there were Pfaltzgraff dishes. And, Mr. Appel his family had owned Pfaltzgraff dishes. They were the staple of the people in the community. They set a level of excellence as to how they did business, how people viewed them. Talk a little bit about what you get from that and the evolution of that till you get to putting that into the DNA of the Kickers.
Gotcha. Well, my granddad started Ukrops Supermarkets in 1937 in a 700 square foot location on Hull Street Road, just down the road from where we are now. And he and my grandmother, they ran the store. They were closed on Sunday, and really in the DNA is the golden rule: treat others as you would like to be treated. So during the war on Wednesdays, the store would close half day, and they go and help the farmers bring in their crops. So it's one thing to say you're part of the community, but it's another. I think that the actions speak a lot louder than words. So with the Richmond Kickers, we're trying to do that. We were really proud last year. A couple of our celebrations were we did a heritage night. A guy named Elliot Barr, who runs a local podcast. I mean, it was really important. And so we try to connect with the Latino and African American community because they're such a big part of the soccer community now. We did some work with Diversity Richmond and just bringing out the Pride community. And we just feel like soccer is that one sport that no matter what you look like, no matter what your size, no matter what your background, you know, this is the game, that world's game, and it brings people together.
Okay, so now you're an owner. Let's go down through a list of owners. Are you more of the Steve Ballmer owner, the George Steinbrenner owner, or like could you be Jerry Jones or Mark Cuban?
Oh gosh, those are all big names.
Or either you could be like a guy who just totally is in the background and you don't know he's the owner.
Well, I'm one of many owners.
Okay.
I'm the primary guy because I'm based here in Richmond. But I consider myself as just a steward of the Richmond Kickers. You know, I've been blessed with some opportunities, and you know, my wife some days gets stressed about it because in a COVID environment in sports, we're down to 1,000 people a game, and that's the Commonwealth of Virginia rule. I know bigger sports properties like probably Virginia Tech football and other places, it will affect them more. We are certainly impacted by the issue. But we've been drawing the last 3 Saturday night games. We've sold out. One of them got postponed, which was frustrating, but you know, we're trying to do the best we can. You know, for me, this is really the community's vehicle, and soccer is I'm just part. I'm trying to keep this thing moving on the tracks and keep people excited about where we're headed together.
So when we lived in State College, Pennsylvania, there was a AA team there, or maybe single A, and they were professional, but they lived among the community. Talk a little bit about the players and their lives with the Kickers. Even though professionals, they also do they have the same opportunities and put up like professionals who have their own places and all that?
Yeah, so you know, we're third level, third division soccer right now. So there's USL Championship above us in MLS. We have all of our guys. We have opportunities for apartments, and we try and get the guys connected that way. Ironically enough, just driving down the road, they lived in St. James Woods here, or St. John's Woods last year. Now they're over in the West End, just trying to find a partnership with some apartments. But you know, they're really limited what they're allowed to do in terms of interacting with people. We do a weekly COVID test on Thursday mornings that all the players have to be part of, so we can't have them out and about as much as we would like. But that does affect some of the guys. Do some youth coaching. You know, some of these guys are just incredible with young people. Just their ability to connect and teach and just, you know, be a bit of a hope. I was reading a book called The Hope Quotient by Ray Johnson recently, and he just talks about the one thing that people lack these days is hope. And you know, for having these young professional athletes who want to make a difference in the community, offering hope to kids and showing them, we just think that's such a great way to go.
Now, I always ask people about hope at this time. What gives you hope?
Man, when I wake up, I'm like, this is a blessing. Like, let's go make a difference today, right? I tell my kids that I coach, I always say I'm freaking wired, but I'm pretty high energy. I get that from my mom and my dad. You know, right now at our house, my wife's 99-year-old grandmother, she'll turn 100 on, let's see, October 27th, so about a little bit over a week away. And she's living with us now, and she's 99, and just watching her every morning, just thank her blessings, and just, you know, she says her prayers, and it's just so inspirational thinking, man, every morning I get to wake up, and, you know, everybody's going to make a bad choice, it's going to have some struggles, but, you know, how do you persevere through and just use encouragement? Can you offer other people encouragement? Because with a little encouragement, you can do great things.
Ladies and gentlemen, you're listening to Rob Ukrops. If you'd like to have a conversation, talk to us a little bit, the number is 804-778-8888. With that, we'll be back in just a moment.
Before and after the salon has been active in the Richmond, Virginia community, providing hairstyling services for over 10 years. Before and After is located in downtown Richmond at 1917 West Carey Street. Specializing in weaves, extensions, and growing healthy hair, Before and After provides a full suite of hair care services. Expert stylists Michelle Smith and Alicia Clark are well trained to meet your styling needs at Before and After the salon.
Do you want a crystal clear picture of your finances? Dial 804-601-4600 888-588-0532 and schedule your free financial review with Crystal Clear Financial Solutions. Find us online at crystalclearfinancialsolutions.com.
Dessert Diva RVA. Specialty boutique with specialty products, providing custom experiences. Our dessert boutique is open on the weekends. Every dessert made from scratch. We also offer date nights and event decor. Dessert Diva RVA, the official home of Party in a Box.
Hi, Chef Michelle here of Mama Michelle's Cafe, home of the Soul Rolls, located at 10811 Whole Street Road. Give us a call at 804-912-1644 or order online at mamachells.com. Ask about our off-site catering options as well as our online ordering through Grubhub, Uber Eats, and DoorDash. Follow us on all social media at Mama Michelle's Cafe. That's Mama Michelle's, Soul south of the James. Mention Mike on the mic and get a free dessert on us. Special rules apply.
Hi, my name is Catrice Roots, CEO of Catrice Roots Productions. Are you looking for a videographer to film advertisements for your business, weddings, special events, and many other activities? Then I am the person you want to contact. Contact me by my email at catriceRootsProductions@gmail.com. Also visit my website at catriceRootsProductions.com. Also, feel free to follow me on Instagram at Catrice Roots.
Hi, I'm Roby Martin with CBS 6 Eat It, Virginia, and I was just on the mic with Mike, which is AM 820 and FM 92.7. Me, Mike, Marcy, talking about all things Richmond. Tune in, man, tune in!
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to a Monday version of On the Mic with Mike. We are 1 to 3 p.m. every day now. Shout out to Roby Martin for the awesome promo. She'll be coming back in a couple weeks. She'll always bring the energy to the program. Today we have with us Rob Ukrops talking about Richmond Kickers, the community. Let me ask you, what makes, in your opinion, Richmond so, I guess, open to community activism?
In Richmond, there's a ton of people that have come through for the last 50, 60, 70 years that, not only have had success in Richmond, but they put their money back into the community to help people get a head start and keep people moving. You were asking earlier about the kind of owner. I always like to be the kind that nobody really knows he's the owner, and just be part of the people. And I think a lot of these people do things so quietly that you don't even know the imprint that they've had on your community, which I always think is the best compliment. You always want somebody else to tell your story. You don't want to be the guy telling your own story. So I think there's a lot of people that have invested back in Richmond across a lot of different platforms throughout Richmond that have quietly just said, hey, I love this place. I live here. My family grows up here. My kids, they're still here. How do we make this place a little bit better? Now, I think the challenge in Richmond is people don't always agree on what the future looks like. And I think that's where, we love having a soccer game where people can come out and they can have a dialogue, whatever side of the issues you fall on. I'm a big fan of people talking face to face. You can agree to disagree, but, today it's so much social media and, I think this and I think that, and there's just this angry banter instead of this friendly conversation over a drink at a sporting event.
That's true, and that's one of the great things about this program. Anyone who listens know the other times that I'm not here, that it's a really hardcore conservative talk. And one of the things I'd say that John Fredericks has opened the microphone. We made a deal, and I'm here not bashing the administration. I say what I want to say, and we do have differences. But during this time, I think it's good we bring in different people to talk about how they see certain things, that people are open to call and disagree, because when people don't have the conversation, a lot of times nothing gets done.
Right.
And so when I came to Richmond, it seems like, so being from Philadelphia, it does seem like there's a version of Philly here, the whole Broad Street, Temple, VCU kind of model right there. Richmond has changed in the last couple years. It seems like the pace of activity of business has increased as well.
Right.
It's gone from what would seem like a smaller, sleepier southern town to a town really that's on the move, and you can see that with the construction. Talk a little bit about the business landscape of how you see things.
Yeah, I think the city of Richmond and the chamber have done a good job of attracting businesses. We have some big players in town, and people like CoStar have really changed the landscape. And with so many millennials coming into Richmond that are trying to impact, and they're active. It used to be people are kind of quiet, but you start to see these young populations of millennials that they have a different way of seeing the world, and they're offering their thoughts. And you just see, as you start to look at who's running for different offices, like the youth that you see, it's a great youth movement. And it doesn't mean they're right, it doesn't mean they're wrong, but they're active. And there's nothing worse to me than people that go around, they wave.
Get off my lawn, kid.
Yeah,
that's not how we always did things.
Exactly. Be patient and let people. Let's start this dialogue. And I think there's a really good dialogue in Richmond about what kind of city we want to be. I keep going back to where we are at City Stadium. We want people from all different walks of life to come and to celebrate. And whether you love soccer or you don't love soccer, just be around other people that just want to have a conversation and talk about, man, why do you love Richmond?
How long have you been affiliated with the Kickers?
So I played on the first team in 1993. I didn't play here in 94, and then I played here in 95. In 96, I was in New England, and then I got released, and I finished my career here. So there's only one person that's really been involved the whole time, Lee Calishaw. He's still with the youth club, but I've been here for a long time. I grew up here. I will tell you this, when I graduated from high school at collegiate and I went to college at Davidson College, I told people I'd never come back to Richmond. And then I started to realize, man, it's such a great place. You have 4 seasons almost every year. I know now it's a little bit different, but you have 4 seasons, and people love each other. We can have disagreements, but I think I've learned from my mom and dad that you can have a difference of opinion, but you still put your arm around them and you lift them up and encourage them. And when Richmond has success, it's all of us. It's not a couple people, it's all of us. And you see all these different economic projects that are on the horizon in Richmond that we think will really elevate the place. It's great.
Okay, so now let's talk about there's the glamour side of being the owner, all the cool perks. What are some of the hardcore parts about being an owner of a sports team that people don't see it and don't think of?
Oh, gosh. I mean, the other night we had an issue at the stadium, and I got an email when I got home. I helped take down the signboards with our team. We have a great team of professionals that get stuff done. And I got home and I got the email, so it kept me up thinking about it. And, we want to make this a really inviting community. We had a little bit of an issue with a visiting fan. But I think the biggest challenge for us is just how to keep the momentum going. This year we put about 1.5 million into City Stadium. The year before, almost 500,000. So we put all this investment knowing that it would help our return on fans coming to games and just the game day experience. And now we can only have 1,000, not 5,000. So the economic reality of that, it's a challenge. And we've got a great group of ownership. And then we have this incredible team that's really pushing us forward and thinking out of the box on how to do things a little bit differently in the times of COVID.
When we look at MLS soccer, what makes Seattle so crazy? For people who don't follow soccer all the time, you just think that the fan base there is crazy.
Yeah, so we actually hired our head coach this year from Seattle, Darren Sawatsky. He's my roommate in New England. Great guy. He grew up in Seattle, built their academy program. So he's got DNA, Seattle DNA. And just that Pacific Northwest, you've got Vancouver, Seattle, and Portland, back from the NASL days, back in the late 70s, early 80s. And it's kind of it's just taken on its own life, You have baseball out there, and you have the Seahawks with our local boy, Russell Wilson, who's amazing. I remember when he was this little kid. I can remember seeing him at the YMCA, and just an incredible young man. And it's so proud that he, I say boy because I'm old now. I'm 50. So man, I remember when he was
a little one.
Yeah, so it's kind of cool just to see the impact that he's having, and he's found his voice and really uplifting people and encouraging people. But I think you got Seattle Seahawks are doing a great job out there. But the Sounders, I mean, it's just this collection of people that come out and they celebrate and they cheer and they lift one another up, and like that's their team. Like we want that's what the Richmond Kickers. We want that same feeling. Our long-term plans is 8,000 seats at City Stadium, and we want the Richmond community to come out there and with their tifos and with their cheering and their chanting, and just so when you come in, you feel like, man, this is a tough place to play, and you got all of Richmond, one voice cheering you on.
Okay, so talk a little bit about the feeder programs going in for kids to get involved. What's out there? How do you guys involve the kids?
So we have a partnership with our Richmond Kickers Youth Club. They're one of our investors. So we start kids in daycare. with a Little Kicks program. Then we go recreational. Then we have travel and elite. And then we have a partnership with the Richmond Strikers, who's another big youth club that we call Richmond United. So there's this great, quiet groundswell of support from the soccer community. To me, soccer is the easiest game to get into. I mean, you look at the guys down in Brazil, all you need is a round item. It doesn't even have to be a soccer ball. But it's cleats, it's shin guards, but kids just go out and play. I mean, it used to be when I was a kid, you're trying to find a basketball hoop. Now it's just trouble finding green space so kids can go out and play. I will say one of the biggest challenges with the youth programs these days is there's so much coaching, and parents feel like I got to pay somebody to coach my kid. Like there's a little bit of trial and error. I'm not sure what your sport was of choice as a kid, but you go out there and the kids make the rules and the kids sort it out. And I feel like we're getting away from it. There's so much over coaching these days. But I always encourage kids, go out there, play, have fun with your neighbors. Don't just focus on soccer. Focus on a couple sports. Figure out what's that one that you just feel comfortable in, that you love.
I think one of the things that people are trying to find scholarships and things for their kids these days, and they're starting earlier and earlier to find that opportunity, which is sad because we aren't letting the kid find the sport for themselves. We're going to, whether they do multiple ones, but they're going to know you have to focus in on that. Okay, let's talk a little bit about...
Wait, can I answer that real quick?
Go ahead.
So this is what I tell people, because I get this question, my kid, I want to get him a soccer scholarship. There's more academic money across the country at whatever school you want to go to. There's tons of academic money. So if you're going to spend your money on kids developing,
go to a tutor.
Get them a tutor, right? And read with them. Read with them is such an empowering thing for kids. Read with them. My dad used to read The Giving Tree to me when I was a kid. Sometimes I had a nightmare. I'd go down, he'd read that Giving Tree, and to me that's been a transformational book, as simple as it is with the black and white etchings. But just the idea of reading with kids, mentoring kids, show that interest and lift them up. That encouraging thing you were talking about earlier, which is what you do so well with your show.
Alrighty, so talk a little bit about the scarf here, and tell people what that means to everyday people who are out there.
Yeah, joyful, authentic, united. I mean, we want to be joyful. You come out to a sporting event, it's supposed to be fun. That's the important part. A lot of people get hung up on the, we got to win, but we want to win. Don't get us wrong. But we want you to have this, come out, have fun, be around your friends, be around people, new friends, and just enjoy yourself. The authentic part is, we want to be true to who we are. We don't want to fake and be somebody different. We want to treat people with respect. As I said, the golden rules deep in our DNA. And then, joyful, authentic, and united, bringing people together. And one of the neat things, we have a former guy played in our youth club, Jake. Jake did this great painting on our press box wall. It says RVs United. It's got a black hand and a white hand, and it's just so powerful for us. We want people to know that we're together. We're with them.
Alrighty. When you said collegiate, there's a lady who's coming in tomorrow, Trina Clemens. And she's going to talk about a program that they have out at the collegiate school for a summer program for high school students. So, I don't know too much about the area and about collegiate, but you and Russell Wilson.
Yeah.
And it's you and Steph Curry at Davidson.
Davidson, I mean, I'm old. I'm older than everybody, but it's been cool for me. I left Davidson, and Coach McKillips is a great friend to me, and just offers so much encouragement, and he did a great job of helping get Steph to that next level. And I mean, I didn't watch much NBA this year because he was out with those injuries, but man, when that team is moving the ball and passing,
that is something.
Whether you like it or not, I always tell people that's how life should be. Share the ball. At different moments, somebody's going to step up and hit the big shot. It might not be me that day. It might be somebody else. But sharing their enthusiasm and share, you win together. And let's make life better.
That is how. Rob Ukrops here with us. Rob, let people know how they can find you.
RichmondKickers.com.
Alrighty. What else is new and exciting for the Kickers coming up that people need to know about?
So we have a game on ESPN Plus and local CBS 6.3 on Wednesday at 11 a.m. in Orlando City. Big game we need to win. If we win out, I think we qualify for the league final the following week in Greenville. Home game Saturday night, 6:30, RichmondKickers.com. You can get tickets. We'll sell out again. Let me know if you want to come out. We'd love to have you.
All righty, ladies and gentlemen, Rob Ukrops, we got to go here. Tom Lapis from the Henrico Citizen on the other side. I got 2 hours now. Boy, Mike King has grown up. Appreciate it. Thanks.
And AM 820.